GM. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Markets are looking good, guys. The last 3 weeks, Michael has been bearish. When does he finally turn bullish? That's what I want to know. But yeah, we'll get into the markets. We'll get into Robinhood chain, obviously crushing it right now. Do we think that's sustainable? Where do we think that's all going? And then, yeah, I want to hear about what you guys are building. Are you launching a token? Do you intend to launch a token? I think people are hungry for new opportunities. So, yeah, hopefully you guys have been able to, retweet this, share this out, follow, like, all that good stuff. And, yeah, so I'll introduce myself real quick. My name is Crypto Amaru. That's what I go by on Twitter anyway. I've been in crypto since 2017, went full-time in 2018. I've done a lot of different things, but focus now being capital raising with the Poolz Launchpad, and then also media marketing, fun banter with the Crypto Paradise Marketing Company, which I'm a founder of that as well. So yeah, we're working with Shift. We just announced the Launchpad partnership between Poolz and Shift, so you guys will have an opportunity to get involved with the Shift presale through Poolz. Super excited about that. I think Shift is a real tier 1 project. Great team, great product, traction already, tier 1 backers. I mean, it's all you could ask for in a project, but we need the market to cooperate. So let's hope this pump kind of sustains and keeps going for the sake of everyone. All right, with that, we'll just go around the room. I'm seeing kind of an order of, left to right here. We'll start off with Michael. You can introduce yourself real quick and tell us a little bit about Shift as well. Can you hear me, Michael? You're muted, by the way. Oh, gosh. Can anybody hear me? I guess
I believe everyone else can hear you.
Okay. So let's set aside Michael for a sec because he may be having technical difficulties or something. Let's turn it over to Nithin's, because you're there right up at the top. You mind introducing yourself, my friend? How long you've been in crypto? What you're working on? And actually, the third thing is whether you're bullish or bearish right now.
Hey guys, hope you guys can hear me.
We hear you. Sounds like you're at a restaurant. Are you getting ready to watch the World Cup?
I'm tuning in right after my gym. I didn't realize 10 p.m. EST is gonna be this late, but let me go somewhere quieter for you guys.
No worries. All right, well, we'll let you get to a quieter spot. Glad you got your gym in for the day. Alrighty, I see Starlord up here. That's pretty cool, PFP. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. The spaces. Can you introduce yourself for us?
Hey, everyone. This is Starlord. Little bit about myself. Like, I help with growth and partnerships at Canborsa. So, quick bit about me. Like, I've been in Web3 around like 5 years now. Started back in the NFT days. Then moved into growth and BD, and working across a bunch of projects, including like Solana, Deepen, one before this. And so I've done the whole 0 to 1 thing before, building community partnerships, campaigns from scratch. I'm based out of India, been around Solana, RWA space for a while. And now I'm at Canborsa, the first RWA perp DEX built on Canton. You can trade real world stuff on chain like stocks, gold, real estate, crypto, up to 30x, most of it. And basically you can get access to real world assets the same way you trade crypto. No broker in the middle, no waiting to settle. And yeah, we are officially live like few weeks back. And right now we have 9,000 active users on the platform. And we have done about 2.5 million in volume already. So yeah, that's about me. Yeah.
congrats on the traction.
And
That's excellent news. It's great to see builders still building and people still using crypto products. When you're a prolonged bear market, you sometimes lose a bit of hope. Like, are people ever going to use crypto again? But it turns out people are still using it. So, yeah, glad to have you on the spaces. Alrighty. I see Michael is back and reacting things. Can you hear us, Michael? Can you guys hear Michael?
He's become a listener now.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, technical difficulties all around. No worries on that. Let's turn it over to Shiv because I hear you loud and clear. Shiv, tell us about yourself and what you're working on.
Most definitely. So my name is Shiv and I've been in this space just over 6 years. I work at Stratosphere and Potion, which is basically one of the biggest crypto media solutions out there right now. We manage one of the biggest trader communities, Potion. We had a massive acquisition from Orangey earlier this year. We also manage Wall Street Bets and a few other like massive trader cohorts. So exciting stuff to see what's happening on that side. And I would say I am midterm bullish. I don't really think too much about what's happening like the next day unless I have a perps position open. But I think pretty much besides that, we are nearing that bottom. And I think all your bags, as long as you have conviction in them for the right reasons, will be in that like final 20% zone to the bottom. And I think that's one of the most exciting places to be as an investor, at least.
Yeah, I'm with you, bud. I mean, we don't really, truly, nobody knows what tomorrow will bring, but it's less difficult to predict what 3 month, 6 month, 12 months will bring. And I think even if you talk to a bear, they're actually bullish on those longer time frames, which is kind of crazy to think. So hopefully we're at the bottom, near the bottom. My take is that 58K was in fact the bottom. We'll see if like a black swan pushes us lower, but I just don't see it organically happening or kind of naturally happening. So we'll see. But glad to hear your midterm, long-term bullish. And yeah, awesome stuff on having been, you said you guys got acquired and work with Wall Street Bets. Great stuff. Glad to have you on the spaces. All right, I'm going to give it one more shot. Michael, are you with us?
One more shot. Am I with you? Am I
Yes,
here? Am I
here.
finally here? Oh my God. Wow.
Oh my
A
God.
lot of communications issues today. Hello, everybody. Great to be here. Hello, Crypto Amaru. Hello to all the speakers. Hello to the audience. Thanks for listening to us. Thanks for coming again. Michael, one of the co-founders of Shift. Shift is an RWA issuer bringing fully backed stocks, bonds, ETFs, and leverage ETFs to native cryptocurrency. Permissionless, KYC-less, now over, I think, 40 million TVL. So really interesting times, building a lot. Just deployed SpaceX 2x long, 2x short a couple of weeks ago and working on the next batch of products as we speak.
Hell yeah. Well, glad you are with us and we can hear you. That's, bullish and exciting in and of itself. And yeah, man, and stoked about Shift overall. Definitely want to get into, the product, the token utility. We just, announced the partnership between Poolz and Shift, and that pre-sale is going to open up soon. I don't think we have a date in mind necessarily, but soon. All right. Hold on. I think we have one more speaker that I just noticed. We got Wise Token.
Hey, good morning. How's
GM.
everyone doing?
Good, man. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Doing great, my friend. Glad to be here.
Tell us about yourself and tell us about Wise Token. And I see you got the gold check mark, man. That's pretty sick.
All right, cool. So I'm with the Wise ecosystem. We've been around for about 7 years. Our first claim to fame is we have the largest LP on Uniswap, over $100 million in liquidity. But what we're doing right now is building products around services, the first of which is a telecom service that's provided by a company called World Mobile, where we raise funding to expand their infrastructure, and in return, the depositors get up to 22% APY on their stablecoins, and it's powered by 3.5 million paying customers so far. So that's just
Oh yeah,
a
man.
brief introduction into who we are and what we do.
On a side note, did you happen to work for a company called Odin in the past? Because I feel like I recognize your voice.
No, I've only worked with Widesoft LLC. I've been with them for about 6 years now.
Okay, similar accent. So apologies for the mistaken identity.
No
All
problem.
right, cool, man. Well, welcome to the stream. All right, so let's just go back around the room. I want to start with Michael. Oh wait, no, wait, hold on. We got Poolz. We got Poolz in the house. How could I forget my teammate? Andre's here. If you don't mind introducing Poolz, and Andre, I want to know. I don't. It's funny. We're on the same team. I don't know whether you are bullish or bearish on crypto right now. So please tell us.
Oh, wait, I didn't touch on that. I'd like to.
Yeah, touch away because I think.
All right, cool.
Poolz
So
is not able to speak right now.
I'm borderline neutral and turning bullish now because just off of past experience, I've been in the space since about 2017, and if I remember correctly, in the last cycle, we touched, I believe it was 17,500 in June, and in quarter four, we went to about 15,000. So I'm neutral and starting to turn bullish and DCAing my way in.
So it sounds like you're a 4-year cyclist. You believe that it's going to play out similar to previous cycles,
Yeah.
with the low coming later. Okay.
For Bitcoin, for Bitcoin, I do. For Ethereum, I believe it follows the 4-year cycle also, but it has a lot more to do with its utilization, and it looks like it's being utilized more and more now. So
Good point. Yeah, man. We're bullish on ETH for sure as well. All right, cool. So I see Poolz raising his hand. Andre, can you hear us? You're muted. All right. Well, he's probably having some technical difficulties as well. All good. We'll keep it rolling. All right, cool. So we've been on these spaces now 3 or 4 weeks in a row with the Shiv team and with Michael. He's been bearish, but we're about. I mean, did we break $1,900 ETH just now? Are you still bearish, or are you finally turning bullish?
A lot of things are happening. I want to say I am. I'm still not 100% on the short term. I'm 100% on the mid and long term. I've always been. Don't put me, don't paint me differently. I've always been bullish on the mid to long. I am hesitant and fearful as a human, but still, I do buy the dip and I do DCA, and I do believe that this is the time to buy. So even if I'm bearish, even if I'm bearish, I still think that Bitcoin is going to go. I said it before, going to go to 100K, and it got there, and then going to 1 million. Those were my statements. I stand behind my statements. Now, when, I will not say because I cannot, but these are still very strongly said. So I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm bullish on ETH as well. I mean, look at L2s right now. Look at Robinhood chain. They're actually built upon Arbitrum, which is built upon Ethereum. So everybody's pushing and bringing more customers on chain, which is beautiful in my eyes. Actually, and the topic of this conversation: did Robinhood chain bring back aZen? Did it? That's a good one. Do you want to touch on that? I can start maybe because it may have, but you know what I want to say? I want to say it started the RWA and tokenized equities season, right? What am I going to say? Even
well, that's
though,
actually funny. That's what Robinhood chain wanted. Like, that's what they built.
Correct. But did the biggest volume maker, where's the biggest volume maker actually a meme coin? Question mark.
My guess it would be Cash Cat, but
it was.
Yeah, I mean,
it was.
Yeah.
It was, and therefore it proves that A, memes are still alive, and B, RWA adoption is just not understood fully yet, I think. That's my opinion. I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah, man. This Robinhood chain, it's really cool because every cycle, I feel like there's something that comes out of left field that no one expected to happen, which just changes the market completely. Like you look at going back to 2022, we had Pepe out of the blue, freaking run into billions. No one predicted that shit. Maybe the insiders did. Maybe 5 people knew about it. Knew that was going to happen. But like really nobody predicted it. Go back even further. 2019. 2018 was shit. I was there. I mean, ETH hit $90. It was horrible. 2019 rolls around, and it's like, oh my God, here comes Uniswap. Here comes DeFi. Out of left field. No one expected it. Changes the market completely. Now, I don't know. Could we argue that Robinhood was that out of left field sort of innovation or what have you that completely shifts the market? I don't know. I think it could be the case. So I'm super excited about it. Curious about your guys' takes. Maybe I'll turn it over to Wise because I see you now at the top here. Wise, what's your take on Robinhood Chain? Did it revive the trenches? And are you guys building and doing anything on Robinhood Chain?
I'm not sure if it revived the trenches. I'm not a trencher, so I don't really pay attention to meme coins, but we are going to deploy our Wise Telecom nodes on top of Robinhood. But maybe I'm not a trencher though. I don't like gambling and I hate to lose my money, so I'm very conservative when it comes to my investments.
But the fact you're deploying the product on Robinhood Chain tells me something. It tells me that builders and devs are also looking at it. It's not just about the memes.
Oh, it can't be ignored, that's for sure. So we're definitely making our way to the Robinhood chain.
Love it, man. Love it. All right. Well, I see Shiv raising his hand. Sounds like you want to get in this conversation. What are your thoughts, man?
Right. I think it's very interesting because I like how you brought up last cycle. The thing with where we are with Robinhood right now is I'm not confident enough to say that, yes, it is jump starting all season, but it is a precondition to what all season needs. Because if you think about it historically, amidst how dreary and bearish the past couple of years were, one of the best products that came out of it was Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid was so promising and beyond even the Pepe or Doge moments which have historically been had because they brought like a light at the end of the tunnel of liquidity being brought in through different angles. And without getting into that, because I'm a massive Hyperliquid bull and I can like write about it for 12 hours, is that Robinhood now through the chain is becoming one of those like credible pipelines which are connecting this regulated cohort of retail brokerage audience directly to on-chain assets. And I think anytime in a space like ours where every quote unquote meta, every like quote unquote narrative has been so done, overdone, abused and had the life drained out of it. And we're in an industry which is like gun shy. We are a retail force which is gun shy. We are a pack of developers at large which are gun shy because of what like brutal bear cycles have done to us. I think moments like what Robinhood Chain are doing are important because not only does it bring back like a pipeline of liquidity, it creates conversations that need to be had. I don't know who it was, some big creator I saw yesterday was debating about whether they should have launched their own chain or whether they should have launched on Solana. And while reading that, I got into a rabbit hole of what the actual productization around Robinhood is, which is so much more than just Cashcat and Hoodrat and whatever the hell the meme coins are called. So I think it's a long way to say that if like where we're standing today, Robinhood chain will not bring all season back, but it will bring a new like stream of new buyers in. And now it's just a question of what do we continue like compounding the value on the chain off? Like if we inflate it through memes and take it through euphoria to the point where we run some meme coins up to a couple of billion, it can still come down crashing badly. But if the entire thesis we build around in times like this is around underlying value, around how users from XL2, which have got burned, can now benefit on Robinhood, or XYZ user loop can be cracked on Robinhood. I think it's going to be one of those things that can be like one of the first dominoes which brings bull season back.
Yeah, man. Well put. Yeah, you need liquidity, you need confidence to come back. You need green candles. And we haven't had green candles in God knows how long. And now we have green candles again. So it's like, I mean, I don't even know if we need to overcomplicate it. Green candles begets more green candles. So I'm feeling super bullish about Robinhood. We're actually deploying the Surf token, the native crypto paradise kind of meme-tility token on Robinhood chain. Excited about that. You know, it's just, so we're all in, baby. We are all in. Happy to hear you're bullish on it too. I see we have actually a speaker that I did not notice before. Apologies. Yuri. Welcome, Yuri. Please introduce yourself and let us know your thoughts on
Everyone,
Robinhood.
Yeah, cool, guys. Yeah, nice to meet you all. Basically, I'm Yuri from dZap. I've been in this space since 2017, right? I actually bought ETH for $10. Can you just imagine? I remember those days. Yeah, and since then I've been in lots of projects, mostly contributing on BD side, scaling DeFi and blockchain ecosystems. So yeah, definitely bullish on Robinhood, right? It seems like it took off really strong in the last couple of weeks. And as far as dZap, as you probably know, we are execution layer for DeFi. We allow our users to execute cross-chain and all these complicated liquidity moves in one go. And we expand this functionality to other protocols. And yeah, as for Robinhood, definitely bullish on the chain. It will definitely bring some new wave of users to our industry, but I wouldn't say it would help us, you know, to turn the bear trend like immediately. Maybe like in the beginning of next year, 2027, we will see multiple factors converge and we like eventually enter like in some early stage of next bull market. But yeah, as for definitely for Robinhood chain, looks really solid. As for us, we already dZap integrated this chain, so our users are able to basically execute all these cross-chain swaps through dZap, and we basically enable this functionality to other protocols. So yeah, definitely bullish on the chain, and in the beginning of next year, we will see like really strong signs of next bull market. Yeah.
Appreciate those insights. Yeah, man. Glad you're integrating Robinhood chain. Sounds like everyone is like getting on Robinhood chain in one way, shape, or form. Michael, I wanted to turn over to you because we've been having discussions previously, like, you know, where your token will launch, what chains will the product be on. Are you deploying the product itself, your core product, on Robinhood? Are you integrating Robinhood? And then what about the token?
So I can't comment on that right now. I cannot. I cannot. Not to hear. We're deployed on Solana. We have EVM coming. Robinhood is EVM as well, so maybe. But let's leave it at that because I cannot say for sure yet. We have a few, let's say, shorter range targets that we've set with partnerships that we've already announced. So these are before, let's put it that way. I am bullish
yes
in the long term. I am bullish in the long term. And we're multi-chain. We've always said this. We don't have a single chain that we're, exclusive on. We go where we're called, where their demand is for our product. So we're now seeing demand on EVM. Definitely Robinhood chain could be a place where, we have to find our speciality there, right? So we don't basically get run over by them themselves, right? So they're deploying RWAs on their own chain. It's a bit unfair if you look at it in the kind of blockchain, foundation space, where you have a stack which is owned by this big company, not a foundation. So I have my thoughts both ways, right? Because I'm basically a bit of a competitor in some way. I don't want to put it like out there, right? But we're kind of building the same stack in a way, except we're not building a blockchain. So it is an interesting discussion to see where this goes in terms of Robinhood. We've been in close touch with Arbitrum, so we know a lot about the tech, and it's not far fetched. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, man. Glad to hear from a builder. I mean, that's been it's been an interesting discussion. I think around like what unique tech does Robinhood chain bring to the table. Apparently, there is some unique tech around the chain. So curious if anyone wants to weigh in on that conversation. But before we do that, I do want to see if Poolz is able to hear us. Sounds like still muted. Looks like still muted. All good. We'll get that sorted out. Shiv, I see you raising your hand. Did you want to weigh on this discussion?
I believe it's my hand since last time because I see it down on my side, but my 2 cents about what's being built here is just that over time, if you just see how like history's played out with a lot of these L1s, we've seen projects which have raised dozens and dozens of millions come into the market with like trying to recreate the blockchain trilemma itself. It's always just boiled down to, can the value be sustained without incentives en masse for 1 year plus? And I think the only logical argument I will, because again, like I've been on AMAs in the prior years where it's been the biggest L1 launch and like there's all the pros and cons being discussed just for it to be another like massive liquidity pool event happening like in a legal way for like thousands of bag holders to see, is that Robinhood right now has an engine or a system under it which knows how to create Web 2 or like TradFi-esque value. And I think that is a skill set which in a structured way has been missing from a lot of the MOs which have been followed in Web3. And that's why seeing a leap like this from Robinhood, which is not like akin to Starbucks or Adidas hopping onto NFTs, which is like, okay, we're experimenting and we're out. Robinhood knows crypto. They have a strong enough understanding of the ins and outs of how retail works, how perps work, how everything within the industry works and how money moves. And that's why I think that's sort of a toolkit and that's sort of a track record behind a venture in this industry can never be a bad sign.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Robinhood are very impressive. We actually looked, we do a live stream every day at Crypto Paradise. You can check out our X on YouTube. We've been analyzing the stock market performance. We look at a lot of different stocks, not just crypto. We do stocks, metals, oil. We talk about everything. And we've been taking a look at Hood, the performance of the Hood stock. The Robinhood stock itself has been tremendous. It's all-time highs. It's crushing Coinbase. I'm curious, Michael, does Shift can I buy tokenized Hood shares on Shift?
Not at the moment, but you will soon. So we've kind of differentiated ourselves from the other players by creating a set of leverage ETFs and focusing on them. Instead of just bringing those plain vanilla Teslas and NVIDIAs again to the same shelf, we chose to go right where others took a left. So we brought leverage ETFs, which Hood may be one of the future ones that we bring, by the way. But I also have other news on that. But let's talk about the leverage ETF. So we chose a niche which is a bit different than those plain vanillas. We took leverage ETFs, which are internally leveraged, and basically brought them on chain back 1-to-1. So you have 2x, 3x long or short. And it's a bit more volatile, or it's more volatile than those, 1-2% movers a day, which a lot of crypto users find boring. So we went for those 2x, 3x, and gave the bi-directional option, which is also very novel and I think is really cool. Not everybody's long. Maybe you want a short, and that's not a real possibility with tokens, right? Just with perps. And that brings me to the zero liquidation risk about these in these leverage ETFs, where in case of Shiv, I think you mentioned being a hyperliquid fan. So if you take the Tesla and you leverage it 50x on hyperliquid, and a big trader comes in and he dumps a bunch, you're 50x long. Now the price feed is going to drop, right? Because of that big sale and that big bump in, bump out. And then you may be liquidated just because the pool was a bit small and that monster move just crushed you. And that is totally unfair. Now, the leveraged ETFs that we bring have none of that risk because they're leveraged off chain, and no DeFi Oracle price feed or anything is able to push you off position. So even in case that principal goes very, very low to 0.01, you will not be pushed out of position. You will not be liquidated. And the next day, if it goes up 20, 30%, you're back in business, baby. You're actually profiting at that stage. And so this mechanism is just a safer way for leverage trading. And we expect a lot more in the past couple of months, in the next couple of months, to be brought. Not only in that sense, but also we're working on further products. We're working on a very interesting mechanism I'll mention just shortly. A just-in-time mechanism which allows basically inventory free minting and burning 24/5 and access to hundreds of thousands of products for any person. So this is kind of the next stage. We can go into that. But we've been working on that behind stage for a couple of months now. And it basically includes an RFQ system, full RFQ system 24/5, which gives full access to hundreds of thousands of stocks, ETFs, bonds, indices, etc. And there's no need to hold any initial liquidity. You tap into the TradFi markets automatically, and you buy and sell with very low spreads back to back to these TradFi systems. So that's the big development that we've been working on past couple of months. More that I cannot tell, but there is more. Believe it or not, there is more. There's another batch of products that we're working on. So these I can reveal. This is super interesting, and that'll allow access not only to Hood, but to just take an esoteric gold mining company in Canada or Brazil or zinc in, I don't know, Zimbabwe. So you'll have access not only to U.S. markets, but to international markets as well. And there's just, I think, in the end, not limitless, millions of assets that we can bring via the system, expanding on more markets than just the U.S. markets. That was my point. Yeah, I'll stop here.
I love it, man.
Hello,
No,
everyone.
I'm getting more bullish by the second. What I love about Shift, honestly, is you guys are builders, you're innovators, you're constantly thinking about what next to do. And when you understand startups and startup like culture and how one startup succeeds and where others fail, I think it's largely that mindset. It's that got to keep pushing, don't get complacent, keep building different things until you find product market fit, and then continue to keep going. I mean, it's look at Robinhood's a great example of that. The company, core business, okay, great trading, retail, bringing crypto, whatever, making it all easier for everyone to get involved in the markets, but don't stop pushing the envelope. So I see that mindset in Shift. Love what you guys are doing. And I think it's going to bode well for holders over the long term. Because even if one product doesn't do well, it's okay, they're going to keep going. So, all right, let's. I do want to see if Poolz is able to speak.
You wanna see Poolz? Yeah, bro. So yeah, I fixed my problem.
Okay, thank goodness.
I fixed my problem. So I will start from the beginning. So let's forget the last 40 minutes and let's start all over again.
Yeah,
No.
please introduce yourself, all that good stuff.
I am aZen Andre from Poolz, head of IDO. So I'm managing, let's say, mostly A to Z process in Poolz regarding the sales. So yeah, if you have a project planning to launch, for sure, feel free to contact me or our team. I would like to leave my two Satoshis here about Robinhood chain. So yeah, me and my research team, we are analyzing this chain for already 2 weeks, checking the liquidity, volume on DEX, and so on. And we would like to say, yeah, we are definitely bullish. We are definitely bullish because this chain, in quite a few days, it reached $1 billion in volume for 24 hours. We can see also how hard are keeping the meme coins on Robinhood chain, how they are promoting it, what kind of marketing Robinhood team are doing. So yeah, it's incredible, guys. So I'm to be honest very bullish on this chain, and I'm thinking that the sales which will come on Poolz planning to launch on Robinhood chain will definitely be a success. So I would suggest you to switch on this chain, to be honest, because this chain, let's say, they don't have already a lot of whales. So their marketing team are onboarding the whales from other chains, from Solana, from BNB. Yeah, and I don't know. Ethereum also has a lot of whales, but they are sleeping right now, to be honest, as I see. But yeah, they are onboarding these whales. So we cannot say that liquidity will leave this chain. No, the liquidity just entering in this chain. So yeah, we are bullish. Let's fucking go. Sorry for my French.
Oh yeah, I think we're all bullish on Robinhood chain. You make a great point about the whales. I mean, and also about being early. I mean, it's still early. That's the thing. Like, it's 2 weeks old, or 3 weeks, however long this has been, and it's really only picked up a lot of steam in the past.
Do you remember when SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, made a post about Solana at $3? It was in January 2021. Yeah. He said he is going to buy all Solana at $3. So people at that time thought they are late in Solana. Yeah. I remember those times. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're definitely not late to Robinhood chain, guys. You're definitely not late. I would recommend getting that enabled on your wallet. Adding Robinhood chain to your wallet extremely fast. I mean, basically no fees. ETH is the gas. What's cool too about where things are at with just the ecosystem, crypto as a whole, is you can now do these cross-chain swaps like right through Uniswap. You can go right.
To be honest, I tried their wallet, Robinhood wallet. I don't know if you tried it, but it allows you to make swaps on any chain in 1 second. So it's incredible. To be honest, Phantom or Trust Wallet or MetaMask didn't allow to do such swaps so fast. You can try it. Robinhood wallet, it's already live on App Store and Google Play Store. So yeah, I liked it very much, to be honest.
This is what you need. This is what you need to bring in retail, to get retail to your chain. You launch your own app. It's superior. People are going to be, and that's the thing about Robinhood, man. They're innovators. They're bringing retail. All right, I want to turn it back over to let's see. We haven't heard from Wise in a minute. You touched on your product a bit. You said you had the most liquidity of any dApp or something on Uniswap. Is that right? What can you touch on that again?
You are asking me?
He may not be with us, but I would imagine that USDT has more liquidity than an altcoin, but maybe he meant altcoins. All right.
No, he meant that they're an LP. That doesn't mean what they're LPing, like what tokens they're holding. It's an interesting question right there.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood what he was trying to say, but I think he stepped away from the screen anyway. Starlord, I want to hear. So, remind us what you're building again, and are you guys doing a token, or do you already have a token?
Hello. Uh, yeah, so we are a perp dex, like we are the first perp dex on Canton. Um Basically, you can trade real world assets on chain, stocks, gold, crypto. Basically, RWA on crypto, no broker, no waiting to settle. Basically that, and like we just went live like 2 weeks back, and the response has been good. We have around like $2.5 million in volume already. And yeah, so on the token part, like we are still very early, and I can't really comment on that part. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're never advocates for rushing a token or doing a token when it's not needed. But if you have a product, with traction, users, you're generating revenue, then doing a token is totally viable, I think, and could be a wise thing. But don't rush it, right? Do it when the time is right.
Yeah, maybe like down the line, it's for like it's in the roadmap, but yeah, maybe down the line. Yeah, who knows?
Sorry, I just got a message from my wife. All right, cool. Anyone else building something? Are you doing a token? Do you have a token? I guess, Shiv, you work with a marketing company, so you guys probably don't do a token.
We do support a lot of token launches, but not necessarily in-house tokens.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, you're in a bit of a different business. How about is it dZap.io? Is that what you're building, Yuri? And does that have a token?
Yes, exactly. dZap.io. Yeah. Basically, as for us, we don't have our own token, right? Even though we are live since 2022, but still, I believe, don't have some plans to launch it. So we are happy with our current business model. Yeah. Just for me to understand, is there any other question about around our product you need me to uncover? Or
just curious. Yeah, feel free to share anything about the product. What are you guys what you're building in traction and all those good things?
Well, yeah, sure. So as mentioned before, we are a DeFi execution layer, right? We help DeFi protocols to basically to accept any liquidity from their users, right? When you have some retail audience and you need either to add liquidity in your pools, vaults, right? Other strategies. Basically, what you can do through integration with dZap, you can basically allow them to move any liquidity to your protocol in one execution, even it's cross-chain, cross-protocol liquidity move. They have some LP sitting on Uniswap, one of the pools, and they just connect their wallet to a platform and move this entire LP into your vault or pool in one click, even if it's a different chain. We currently support 70 plus chain. And as for the product market fit has already been achieved, right? We processed around 500 million in swaps since 2022 as a B2C product, and we currently expand the same functionality to other protocols. So yeah, happy to explore any potential synergies with people on these spaces. If you are looking for new liquidity streams for your protocols, feel free to reach out here on X or whatever channel. Happy to chat and see how we can help you.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate that. Goodwill. It's good to have, people want to help each other in this space. We need more of that. I want to turn it over to Michael on the token topic, because we do have the token sale of Shift coming on Poolz here very soon. Tell us about the token utilities real quick, and then also what are the valuations and the vesting and stuff for the round that's coming up here.
All right. First of all, I'm surprised to find myself in a space in Web3 with the only utility token coming up, which is pretty cool. I must say, I'm really impressed in a good way. I'm like really happy. I'm like, wow, these are the days that people are building on revenue stream and not creating tokens, which is very cool. We, on the other hand, have gone the other way. We've decided this a long time ago. We wanted our community to be part of our fee and part of our stream and part of the revenues that we create. And so the Shift utility token gets about 50% of the revenue of every minted RWA or burned RWA, whichever way in or out. We have a very low fee, but 50% of it goes to buy back the Shift utility token and basically creates a very strong buyback mechanism, which is constant and backstage. So humans and people do not need to hold a token or have it to trade it. It just happens backstage. And then the other thing that we will do, which I think is very significant, is actually use those funds to buy very stable RWAs, such as T-bills and things that are very, very, I'd say, basic and allow very low risk, but still create a foundation of a base price for the DAO. And you basically have assets that you're holding in the foundation and create both that base and a movement forward for growth. So we believe that this basic utility, of course, governance, etc., and staking and all the things that utility tokens do, but I do believe that one, very strong tie to the RWA mint and burn itself is the key here to why Shift is worthwhile. That's kind of my take on that. You've asked about the rounds and valuations, etc. So we're currently on our third round, which is a private sale round, valuated at 30 million FDV. Token price is 0.03, and TGE will be according to 40 million 40 million TVL and FDV, sorry, and is expected in Q4. So it's currently a 25% discount on that. The vesting is a total of 9 months, where there's 3 months cliff and then 6 months linear vesting. That's for this round. A total of 3 million is the ask, and we've already passed 1. So we're doing,
Awesome.
yeah.
That is awesome to hear. You guys are able to raise funds. I mean, it's actually been rare. We work with Poolz, so we're in the launchpad business, and projects, a lot of them have been struggling to raise. Not a lot of interest. That's obviously changing now in the last few weeks, which is great. But to hear that you guys have already raised 1 million this round is tremendous.
Yeah.
That definitely puts you in rare company.
Yeah, we've been working not only with new investors, but actually we have a lot of our seed and pre-seed investors that are doubling down, that have invested both operational funds and TVL, and they're seeing revenue now, and they're happy about what they see, and they're doubling down. So that's where most of that million is coming from. And beyond that, we have a lot of new negotiations. And of course, we have the sales coming up with Poolz, which is really, really cool. And I'm very happy to announce it here with Amaru as well. So that's coming up very soon. And what else did I miss? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. You covered quite a bit. I mean, token utility, I think, is spot on, tied directly to the product usage. Burning the tokens, that's excellent. It's what you want to see. And then the standard utilities as well, between staking, governance, etc. Valuations, I think, are very reasonable. I mean, gosh, if you were launching this and raising for this back in like 2021, I mean, hell, the FDVs would have been 100 million or higher. So you're kind of getting a bit of a bear market deal, you could argue, on a project that's very promising, with the product already being built, traction, etc. Raising, capital raised going well. So yeah, man, just keep up the great work. Looking forward to announcing here on Poolz in the not too distant future the opening up of your round over there. So the Poolz community can get involved. But yeah, great stuff. We got a few minutes left. I'm curious, Andre, if you can hear us still, your thoughts on Shift. What are your you like about it, and what do you want to see more of from them?
Yeah, so if we wouldn't love it, we wouldn't take it. I would say, yeah. Yeah, we are definitely bullish on this project. From our side, we are doing the best to onboard more and more users for this sale. Definitely, we are waiting for the sale date confirmation for sure. And yeah, LFG.
LFG, baby. Yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, we're trying to work with projects that we like and love. Shift is an easy one to like. A lot of times projects come to us on Poolz, and they have
I would
some
like to mention, I would like to mention also one point for all the investors who are listening us. So yeah, better try to avoid investing in projects with, let's say, non-public team. Yeah, you can check Shift, you can check their team. So all of them are doxed. Yeah, including Michael, who is here. So be sure and be careful. Where are you investing your funds? And invest only in public companies.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a big thing, and sadly, not enough projects are doing that anymore. There's way too many anonymous teams out there. But Shift is kind of the opposite. I was just going to say that in Poolz, we come across a lot of different projects that, and they all have strengths and weaknesses. But we're seeing many projects come to us. They do not have a good social media presence. They're not really active on Twitter like they need to be. They're not doxed. And it's like, bro, get your shit together. It's kind of what I tell them when we have calls with teams like that. But Shift is the opposite. Very active on socials. Michael's doing spaces like freaking every day, it seems. The social media team is great. They're putting out really fun Twitter content. They're replying to things. I mean, it's exactly what you want to see from a marketing perspective, as well as the product, So I think Shift potentially be a huge winner. I had the opportunity to sit down with Michael and met their team in real life, like going on 2 years ago, which was super cool as well. So, that's a unique thing. But we're happy to be working with them at Poolz and Crypto Paradise. For those who don't know, Poolz and Crypto Paradise are kind of intertwined. Crypto Paradise is sort of a marketing arm of Poolz. It's its own separate entity as well, but we help spread the word around projects going out on the Poolz launchpad, and like the likes of Shift. So we're rooting for you guys. I think we'll wrap up this Spaces. I got to jump on another call in about 1 minute here, but and sadly, I am going to have to take next week off. We've been doing these Spaces every week for a while now, but I'm going to be with my daughter next week. She's it's summer for her, so I gotta be spending some time. But and we also have the launch. By the way, we also have the launch of the Surf token on Robinhood chain, so don't sleep on that either. But great Spaces today, guys. Appreciate everyone jumping in. And as we like to say here at Crypto Paradise, we'll see you guys on the beach. Peace out.